All right, Tampa Bay and surrounding areas. It is the Tampa Bay Thunderstrikers here live on Sunday night, 7 p.m. as normal. Also, if you notice, we have a new platform we're broadcasting from, so bear with us. We're working out the kinks, making it work right, but it's going to be a great, great thing for us. So coming live from the Safety Harbor Studios in wonderful Safety Harbor, Florida, it's your co-host, producer, Jeff Snyder, and your host, Joe D'Angelo. Joe, what you got?
Well, what's up, Jeff?
How you doing there?
I come in here, and I'm told that we have a whole new system and everything, and he showed it to me briefly, and I'm impressed.
Well, so far, if it works.
Well, let's knock on wood.
And knock on wood, yes.
Yeah. So how do you start off the show? Well, you don't want to start off the show with the negativity.
No, you do not.
So therefore, I'm going to make everybody's day, and we're going to start off with good news, and then we go from there, because I have more. Unfortunately,
I don't want any bad news, Joe.
Unfortunately, I have a ton of bad news and just a little bit of good news.
Well, the good news is we're playing on Wednesday.
Yes, we are playing on Wednesday.
The good news is that seed thing was only a seed.
It was only a seed.
It didn't throw us out. No issues, no problems.
Yeah.
No.
For all those anti-Bolts fans that were annoying me with their little posts. Oh, the Lightning lost. Oh, they're on their way to Choke City.
Here we go.
Ironically, that came from a Rangers fan. And let me tell you something about that real quick. The Rangers haven't done anything since 1994, and they got swept in their playoff against the Canes. Need I say more? No.
Well, you could say more, but no one's going to listen.
True.
Exactly. They're the Rangers. We're the Lightning. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, she needs to get a better team. So, Maureen, step up to Tampa Bay, root for your hometown team, not your crappy Rangers.
Exactly.
And let's go. Let's start off with some good news.
Yeah, well, before we do that, make sure if you can see the bottom banner. I don't know if you can or not, because we can't see this until the show's over. This is like the test show. You can always give us a call at 727-474-8786, 727-474-8786, or you can pop on questions, comments, and concerns on Facebook right in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe, give me some news.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to start off with good news. Yes, good news. Good news is good.
Yes.
The Tampa Bay Lightning faced the Boston Bruins.
Terrible.
We're going to do a quick recap of the game. And like I said, I needed to dig into a little bit deep so I could find some good news, because I didn't want to start the show with bad news.
True.
So we're going to get this good news out of the way. Braden Point at 7:33 in the first period. The Bolts went up 1-0 over Boston.
True.
Assisted by Nikita Kucherov and Andre Palat. At 10:32, Alex Killorn on a power play with his first goal.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes.
Good job by Alex.
Hedman and Tyler Johnson. It is 2-0.
Yes, there you go.
We moved to the second period. They scored 16:43 to make it 2-1. At 1:47 of the third period, they scored to tie it up 2-2. And then at 18:33, Tyler Johnson.
We got to talk about something tonight.
Yes.
My concerns about what's going to happen. Well, we'll get to it. We got lots of time, folks. Lots of time.
So Tyler Johnson once again coming through.
Yes.
And he secured the victory for us.
Yes.
And that is a beautiful thing. So I wanted to start the show off with a 3-2 victory over Boston.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Now,
yes,
even more news and good news, because we didn't beat this team all year long. We faced the Washington Capitals.
Yes. What a great game that was.
Yes. At 12:53 in the first period, Nikita Kucherov.
I'll even give you the horn on that one. There you go, Cooch.
1-0 Bolts, assisted by Braden Point.
Of course, Braden.
Okay, then we move on to the second period. As you know, I'm moving rather expeditiously through here.
I don't know why.
Second period, 7:48. Mitchell Stevens with his first goal.
Yes, Mitchell. I'll tell you what, that kid is on fire. What was his? He's just, when it comes to anything from the face-off to playing some defense, playing some offense, this kid's on great.
I said it last year. He should have made the team last year.
I agree.
This year, he's even more of an asset, especially considering what we're up against right now.
Very true.
Once I get to the bad news.
I know.
Okay, so Ryan McDonough and Patrick Maroon with the assists on the goal, and it's 2-0.
Very nice job.
17:24, Richard Panic got them a goal, and it's 2-1. 1932, in the same second period, they scored again to make it 2-2 at the end of 2.
Nice.
Third period,
Just
no
continues.
scores. No scores in the third period.
Nope.
And then we go into the overtime summary.
Which, by the way, was a lot of fun.
It really was.
It was a lot of fun to watch. Although
TJ Oshie got the first unassisted goal. What were we going to say?
Yeah, here. Oshie.
But
I would have seen a difference here. All right. So go ahead.
Braden.
Yes, he did.
Boy.
Yes, he did. My boy Braden.
Yep. And
Fantastic job.
to finish it off,
yes,
Nikita Kucherov.
All right, but here's the problem.
Yes. What's the problem?
You have Cirelli, Sergachev, Mitchell Stevens. You got all these guys. Hedman, God love him. He is not my favorite shootout player in the planet. I'm just saying it. Put it out there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and you kind of knew it when he just kind of eased in toward the net. I'm like, oh, how good is this going to be? And it wasn't. You know, and thank goodness we had the other two that just kind of drove it in. But I didn't understand where he was going with it. Didn't like it, and I'm still not impressed.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. The Lightning have been getting a lot of hits.
Oh, yes.
A lot of hits.
Yes, we have.
That is good to see. They're not taking any crap.
Nope.
We had 31 hits. Oh, no, excuse me, 25, 28 hits in the Boston game.
That's true.
And then in the Washington game, we had 45 hits.
That's a lot of hits.
That's my point. We're hitting. We're more aggressive. We are standing up for ourselves and our players even more. And it's showing in these performances, or at least these two games.
This is true. But this is my point that I'll bring up before we go too much further here. I foresee some real issues when it comes to who we're going to get rid of and who's going to let go and who we're keeping.
Right.
Because all the ones that we talked about last weekend that are on the chopping block have done phenomenal this week.
Yes.
I mean, just outshone almost everybody, including Killorn and Cirelli and Sergachev. I wonder what's going to happen and what's going on in the mind of Cooper and JBB right now.
It's wow.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's getting to be, you have to, it's in the back of your mind. You're concentrating on the playoffs right now. We're going into the game one of round one. And this is the real deal. This is where Cooper said, this is where they have to be. This is the real deal. And, you're going to get Toronto or you're going to get last year's mess all over again.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't be so scared of Columbus if we had our full roster intact. But some of the bad news that I got to report, there's 3 players on our team that are not going to be playing. And I don't even know if they're going to even be in the series. It is not good.
It is not in the cards.
It is not good.
Nope.
And folks, I'm telling you this because I happen to know what the injuries are, and they're not good. They are not good.
No, well, Well, you want to get into those in a minute, or what do you want to do here?
Well, I mean, should we get this out of the way about last night? Just get it out of the way. Get the nasty taste. In our mouth.
Yeah. Those wings tasted delicious the first two games. They did not taste good last night. I'm just gonna say.
By the way, I got a couple of messages asking me about what the Bolts are doing next.
I hope they're going to play hockey.
Well, the Bolts are off today.
Yes.
And they do have a practice tomorrow afternoon. So I've been confirming that.
Yep.
And then Wednesday's
a big game.
You're gonna see right now. Toronto doesn't scare me. I'll go to war with Toronto with what we have right now. But Columbus does scare me because we're gonna be.
Philadelphia didn't scare me until last night.
Philadelphia played an unbelievable game.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. You might get an unbelievable game out of Montreal.
Yeah.
And that we talked about this a year ago, because now that hockey started late, we now are a year into this. A year ago, we sat down right here on Thunderstrikers live, and you can go back and look at the episodes. We said these guys, they play to the level of their competition. And if their competition has a really good day, we have a really bad one.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen time and time again. I have some hopes. I'll reserve them till after this bad news, but who knows? So go ahead. Tell us the cringeworthy stories here.
We're going to cover the Philadelphia game, and then we'll give you some news and notes, what's going on. Congratulations, Tyler Johnson, for surpassing Steven Stamkos. Tyler Johnson has 54. Let's see, with his power play goal, Tyler Johnson, 54 points, has passed Steven Stamkos at 53 points, and is now in sole possession of third place all-time playoff points leaderships. So that is something else. Congratulations,
from
Mr.
Tyler who
Johnson.
is on the chopping block.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much Alex does now or Tyler does now.
Nope.
It doesn't matter because you're faced up with that salary crunch.
Yes, you are.
And, you're guaranteed you're going to lose one or two.
I hope we don't lose them. I hope we don't lose two. I don't want to lose either, but I don't know who to think about that. Maybe we'll figure it out later.
Okay, so let's get into this mess so I can get it off. I mean, the bad taste out of my mouth. First period, 7:40. Philadelphia scores 1-0. 14 minutes after 14 minutes, Kubel scores. It's 2-0 at the end of the first period.
Yep.
2-0. Okay. Okay, I can handle that.
I'm not sweating yet, but I'm not happy either.
Yeah. Second period starts at 5:21. Tyler Johnson.
Yay. I had to blow the horn because that's pretty much all I got for this.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's 2-1. Fabrice scores at 14:22. It's 3-1. That's when you got worried and said, this ain't looking good. And especially when you get beat by a guy named Pitlick.
Yeah, exactly.
At 18:40, 4-1. The shots, Philadelphia beat them out 30-24.
Yeah.
But we had more hits. We had 49-26 on the hits.
I'm going to stop you right there. Again, and this might as well be one of those dreamland. Hold on, I'll get you a good dreamland here. This is from November of last year, and we talked about this, and this is where we keep going with this. It is amazing that these guys don't hit, but their skill is so good, and so they win. They don't win games. Then this game, they got the hits, but no skill, and we lost the game. Have they not understood yet? You have to have a balance. Aggressive hits, skillful hockey. If you don't have them both, you're out. You're down. You're going to be out.
Cute
we
passing.
kiss that trophy goodbye.
Cute passing.
Oh, again, my God, what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, the first two shots by Cooch. Flukes, I know this kid is good. The goalie for the Phillies is good.
Oh, yeah.
Or Flyers, excuse me, is fantastic.
Flyers goalie.
I cannot believe he stopped Cooch not once.
Number one star.
But twice. Oh, of course he was, because he stopped Cooch twice. And
he stopped just about everybody.
Well, he stopped just about everybody, but I mean, I'm talking about the good breakout goals chances that Cooch had.
Mm-hmm.
Just shut him right down. So, if we don't have the skill and the passing and the defense, I mean, we were working Andrei Vasilevsky way too hard last night.
Oh my God,
it was horrible. I felt after a while, I felt bad for him. I didn't really feel too bad. I was sitting watching another TV show because I got exasperated, but it was horrible. My wife actually said to me, she goes, "Why don't we just turn TV off and watch something else?" I said, "Well, I got a show tomorrow. I got to kind of see what happens."
Mm-hmm.
And it was miserable.
Vasi got raped. I mean, over 20 shots. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and the saddest part, we had the first 3 minutes. We were all over.
Mm-hmm.
We even said, "Oh, look at this. They're back in play. Life is good. They're aggressive. This is a lot of fun." Then after like 3 minutes, it's like they went home.
Sadly,
everything just stopped.
Yeah.
And then third period comes. They start up again. They're doing great. After a few minutes, it stops. And I just don't get it. I do have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Same theory I had back in November. Is it possible, Joe and our fans, is it possible that Cooper is doing this on purpose? Because he doesn't want to show his hand in this last game. He doesn't want to come up on a 3-0. He doesn't want first seed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want the President's Trophy curse kind of thing, just like Boston had. Look at that. President's Trophy winner, 4th seed.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be gone soon, Boston. Nice knowing you.
Yeah.
But it just, I just wonder when they play like they do, and it's just so bad. Mm-hmm. And there's no passing, and there's no defense, and there's no line work, and there's nothing except a couple hits here and there. Was it done purposefully just to keep these guys on their toes for the next ones on Wednesday? I don't know.
Well,
we'll see.
I'm going to say this. Philadelphia has been the hottest team in hockey.
Yes.
Them and the Canes are the two hottest teams.
Yes.
And Philadelphia's just been really impressive, and they made it look easy on us.
Well, I hope they don't do that again, because we're going to see them again. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, there's no question in my mind. Philadelphia is going to beat Montreal.
Well, yeah.
I really believe that. So Washington has the Islanders. So the Islanders are that's going to be a tough game. I'd like to see my home team eliminate Washington.
I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know.
I'd love to see it. Yeah. And Boston and Carolina. Ooh. Bye-bye, Boston.
I know.
Carolina's going to win that. Yes.
I know.
Like I said, Tampa Bay, I'd much rather play Toronto than Columbus. Columbus scares me. I still have nightmares about last year. And we are hobbling into that if that it does come to fruition. We are not going to be as strong with a loss of 3 key players.
It's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, 3 good players, really good players. I mean, this is going to be interesting. I haven't even really been paying too much attention to the West. I think Vegas is an amazing team. Arizona pulled it off. Dallas today pulled it off. So guess what? Dallas gets Vancouver.
Yeah.
And St. Louis gets Calgary. So
Who
those
cares?
are pretty much your brackets. Those are your brackets in the West. We don't care about that, though.
Of course not.
I really think that it's irrelevant. I really feel that whoever wins the East is going to win the Cup. And Philadelphia is the team to beat right now, not us.
This is true. Unfortunately, it is not us.
What I seen with Carolina, though, Carolina they're a strong team. And Philadelphia is a strong team. We're not a strong team, because now we just got 3 whammies.
Exactly.
And the problem with this team every year, right around the playoff time, is we're always missing our key players. And I'm not using that as an excuse, but
exactly.
I think we're jinxed.
I know. Well, Joe, I got a surprise for you.
Mm-hmm.
Going to bring somebody on you've met on Facebook. You've posted a lot of his stuff.
Yep.
and he's a great guy. Let's say hello to Shooter from Shooter and Stash. How are you doing, brother?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Hey, Shooter, how you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good. Kind of trying to get over this loss and maybe the potential loss of Hedman for the playoffs. But other than that, doing okay.
Yeah, it's a little scary at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. It didn't look good. What I was saying last night was, I think maybe they're just being super precautionary with him and just having him just sit out the rest of that game because he did kind of obviously tweak that ankle, but he was able to get off the ice on his own power. So that's, I think, a good sign. The other thing I was thinking, the way he reacted was maybe this was an older injury that maybe we didn't know about, or I forget what his injury was earlier in the year that he had, but maybe he re-aggravated something there. But the good news is he was walking off under his own weight, and hopefully he can come back, if not the first round here later in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, nothing was wrong with his stick either, as he was beating it against the glass on the way out. He was a little angry, wouldn't you say, for a Swede?
Hopefully the stick is the only broken thing from last night.
Exactly. Well, Rob, I wanted to introduce you. You are with Shooter and Stash. Shooter and Stash is on Facebook all the time. These guys do fantastic animations about Tampa Bay sports. So how long have you guys been on doing all this stuff?
So it's been probably 3 or 4 years. We started as a podcast talking about the NFL as a whole, the whole NFL. And then we started making some kind of like short Bucks animations, just kind of comic relief for Bucks fans. And then obviously we started to do it for the Lightning too. Me and the Stash are huge Lightning fans. We kind of became friends and bonded almost over Lightning and sports in the area. So we're huge Lightning fans. The last Lightning video we did was kind of like a parody of Alex Killorn's Doc Talk. So we had him kind of go to Gronk's house for our edition, and just kind of really just comic relief for us Tampa Bay sports fans. And, we need it more than ever, especially now. I think one of the Rays pitchers went down today and Hedman last night. So we can use all the laughs we can get here in Tampa.
Yeah, please don't say it was Charlie Morton, because that'll be the end of the Rays for what they have left. I won't.
No comment.
We'll stop. But so I know you do a lot of football animations and hockey animations, but where does your true allegiance lie? Are you a hockey guy?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a hockey guy. Yeah, that's why we're doing kind of some post-game shows right after the game. And I've always been a hockey guy. I play hockey. Well, not right now, but I usually play at least once or twice a week. So I'm a huge hockey fan, and so is the Stash. And funny thing is, we both are transplants too. So we both moved to this area and kind of really kind of fell in love with the Lightning when we first moved here. And then they won the Cup a couple years after that. So it's been fun, and we've been kind of diehard fans ever since. We're the same way. The old lady is watching the game with me, and we go down 2-0, and she's like, maybe we should watch something else. And I'm like, oh, we're not watching anything else.
Exactly. Well, it's nice you guys moved down here. We're both New Yorker transplants. Got to Tampa Bay. We know we love the Lightning. I actually played for the Sabres mini Pee Wee League back in the day. I was only like, I don't know, a few years old and hated it. Couldn't skate for nothing. Kind of like the Sabres today, actually.
Hey, Shooter, I got a question for you. Who are you rooting for us to play, Toronto or Columbus?
I don't think it really matters who they play. I have this kind of thought that maybe if they get that second chance at Columbus, kind of that redemption series, then, maybe that gives these guys a little bit more confidence, especially when you're looking at maybe not having Stamkos, maybe not having Hedman for this series. If you can get these kind of, backup stars that we have a lot of talent on our team. So I can't just say Stamkos and Hedman are our only stars, but they are probably our two top players. So when you have those two guys out, I think if we get that matchup against Columbus, it's not going to be easy at all. But you're going to see guys like, and they have already, Tyler Johnson been stepping up. Killorn's a guy that steps up usually in the playoffs. I want to see Point start going again because he looked so good in those first couple games. And then the other night, last night he just didn't look as good. He kind of turned it on in the third period, but definitely looked like a little bit different of a player. And I think a lot of that was due to kind of Philly's defense. So I want to see Columbus, because I think, especially with these guys out injured, that we're going to see these other guys step up and maybe gain a lot of confidence throughout a series, being able to take out a team that took them out last year, because it is a different team, and they're not as good this year for sure compared to Toronto, which I'm not really that afraid of Toronto, but when you've got like Austin Matthews and you've got Tavares and Marner and some of the talent that they have, I just rather not play them. Although their defense is pretty weak, so I think the Lightning will match up with them fine, even if Hedman's out.
Yeah,
we got 2 defensemen out. I'm not expecting either one to play. Hedman, of course, at the ankle injury, and now John Ruda, his left knee is injured now. So you got actually Ruda and Hedman on the defensive line that are both going to be out.
Yeah, and he hurt that earlier in the season. I know that he went down for a little bit, and they never really said anything more about it, but I guess it's come back to haunt him. Well, to haunt all of us now, because Jan Ruda is another. He's not your top star kind of thing like a Hedman or a
it's still a key. It's a big loss,
but he's a key player.
Yeah,
he definitely is
for the
fact,
defense.
I can't think of any ones that are not key players. So, Shooter, who's your favorite other than Stamkos? Hedman and Kucherov. Who's your next?
Oh gosh, I've always been a Gord fan. I just like the way he plays. Like that first year, he was scoring a lot of points, and this year, he hasn't been scoring as much. But I still think like he brings kind of a whole new dynamic to the game. And you see him with Coleman and Gaudreau now on that third line, and they've actually been, at least last night, they started that line, and I really think that's kind of set the tone of the game. So I like those gritty guys. Kind of reminds me of like a Ryan Callahan. So Gord, I like them all though. I've been really high on Point since they came back though, because he seems like he just has an extra gear. And he's as close as like, that elite kind of talent. I kind of compare him to McDavid, and it's a tough comparison to make with McDavid, right? But the speed, it's the speed. He just looks so much faster out there than some other guys.
Well, and it's something we were talking about earlier. If you had checked on the show, I don't know if you were on, but we were talking about all these different things, and maybe Cooper did some magic, kind of like, do a little sneaky play. Hey, let's lose here. Let's not get first seed, and let's come in on fire on Wednesday. I don't know. But Braden Point seemed to be off his game, like really badly on Saturday, almost like he just played a game earlier. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah. And we had a huge Flyers fan on our show, so he came in and kind of gave us his take on Coburn, or not Coburn, on him getting shut down, right? And also you saw Cirelli kind of got shut down a little bit, another Lightning center, and he was saying it was because Philly's so deep at that center position where they've got these guys that are two-way players, and that's been a real secret to their success. You can go back to when they played the Bruins and when they played the Capitals, and their fans were saying the same thing. Hey, what happened to our centers during this game?
Another big point for them is the emergence of Carter Hart, who had 23 saves last night. It was just unbelievable.
Gracious. This kid is 21. He just turned 21. Turned 21. We are screwed for the next few years because this kid is fantastic.
He is really good.
Yeah. How do you stop Cooch twice in a row coming at you on a breakaway? It's crazy. It's crazy.
He's got no fear. He's a stud in that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you make those kind of saves early in the game, I mean, that it's got to help with your confidence, right? And it wasn't just Cooch. You had Killorn had that shorthanded breakaway, and he got denied on that too. So I think, with the start that the Lightning had, which you guys mentioned, they were on fire at first, but they were just getting denied on really good scoring chances. So that combined with, I really think when Hedman went down, that really kind of affected the team. Because you saw like, what was it, 20-6 shots, something like that at the end of that first period. So whenever Hedman went out, that really kind of jolted this team, which is pretty concerning considering he might not be back, especially for this round one matchup. But I think you still saw them start to right the ship. A lot of people were kind of slamming the other defenders' play, but you got to remember now they're down to 5 defenders, right? So they've got to adjust, and you got these guys who are not getting that much ice time that are filling in that huge void that's left by Victor Hedman's 25, 26 minutes a night. So I think they adjusted well. They really had a chance to win that game last night. It's just the puck didn't bounce their way. They couldn't get past a hot goaltender, and there was just a number of things that just went wrong last night. Pretty much worst case scenario if you're a Lightning fan. I said last night, like, we could have lost this game 12-0, and I would have been fine if we didn't have anyone get injured. And the guy that got injured was the best guy on the ice. So they're going to have an uphill battle, I think, with no matter who they play, whether it's Toronto or Columbus, if Hedman's going to be out this series. But you're going to need these other guys to step up, and you're going to really need Vasi to really kind of get it together, because he's played well. Like, he was getting peppered with shots in that first period. It could have been like 4-0 at the end of that first period last night. But he really had some really weak goals go in against both Boston and the Capitals, those goals that were kind of trickling right there beneath his feet. And a little bit of that is him. A little bit of that is the defense needing to be there. But he's really got to be real sharp, especially if we're down a Hedman, a Stamkos, and Ruda, as you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
And that affects Curtis McElhinney, who did not get any kind of practice in. They did not insert him in any one of those 3 games. Nope. So now Curtis is going to be suffering a little bit for that. But I think he always stays nice and sharp, though, regardless.
Yeah, I think you're right on track here. He is one of those guys that he's got the maturity and not only maturity as a goaltender, but maturity with NHL in general to be able to step in, do his job. He won't be a Vasilevsky, but he's going to do the best he can, and it usually ends up pretty well for him. Mm-hmm. So let's keep hoping on that one.
I also like to play a Blake Coleman.
Yeah, exactly. So, Shooter, anybody you want to shout out to or promote? I see if you look on the bottom, I got the ticker out there for Shooter in the Stash on Facebook. Where else can we find it?
Yeah. No, just on Facebook. We got a really great community on Facebook. If you want to follow on Twitter, the really cool thing that we've been doing really for the last year is not all of them, but a lot of our animations are really kind of community led. So what I mean by that is I've been getting people to do voices that I've just met on Twitter. I've gotten, people to submit kind of our drawings and illustrations, all kinds of stuff. We had a song at the end of our last Bucks video, which is kind of like a parody of Bucks training camp, but it was all done on Zoom with COVID going on. And at the end, I had this guy, Pete, who plays the ukulele over in, I think he's in the United Kingdom, made this little song just at the end. That was really cool. So it's been really neat to kind of see, like, I asked some people for a little bit of help, a little bit of their time, and they give me some really cool stuff to work with. So I want to continue to do that. So, shoot me a follow. If you've got, a somewhat decent microphone, hey, you can be a voice actor. We'll put you in a video as long as you'll take the time to do it.
It's your big break out of broadcasting into voiceover.
I don't know. I love broadcasting too much to leave it, but I post every single one every time I see.
Oh yeah, every
time I see those guys.
Wonderful.
I
Absolutely
always
wonderful.
post it on my, not only my profile, but Thunderstrikers profile and whatever feeds I have, and I have a lot of them.
Yeah. So we love your stuff.
That. We do appreciate it. I want to do more Lightning stuff, but it's always harder to do Lightning things. And you know why? Because we do a lot of Bucks because there's just so many jokes. Like there's a billion different Jameis Winston turnover jokes, and those days are over. But it's tougher when you've got a team that's just as solid and that, me and the Stash have so much respect for. Like that's our number one. We think they're the best franchise in sports from the top down. It's tough to kind of we always got to put in some jokes. So it's all lighthearted. I know Killorn kind of retweeted the last one that we did with his doc talk, and he was like, I don't know if these guys are chirping at me or or they like me. Definitely not chirping at any hockey players, but it's all fun. And like I said, just kind of a comic relief, a different thing that we have here in our community. And we're huge Tampa Bay fans in general. So you'll see a lot of the backgrounds for our animations are actual images that either people sent us or that I've just taken with my phone around Tampa.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice. It's a great place to actually do that, because Tampa Bay certainly has a lot of neat things to see and do around here. We definitely love it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Shooter,
No,
thank
it's
you so
awesome.
much for being on. We will definitely chat some more and get some fun stuff worked out. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome, guy. Keep up the good work, man.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, folks. That is Shooter and the Stash.
Definitely fun.
Yes, a lot of fun.
I
a
like
lot
it.
of good times.
I like it.
Yep.
Amazingly enough, I do. Because, I make no bones about it. I'm straight up and straightforward. I never gave up my New York teams and never will. But I cover the Lightning, and that's what I do for a living, is covering the Lightning.
This is true.
So that's my primary focus, is the Lightning, and it'll always be that way.
Exactly. Well, we're a little late on our stop set, so I'm going to give
Okay.
it a little bit of music here and say, let's see who we want to talk about during now. This is the Tampa Bay Thunderstrikers coming to you live from the Safety Harbor Studios in wonderful Safety Harbor, Florida. And we'd like to thank some of our favorite restaurants in the area. We've got Eddie's Bar and Grill. Eddie's in Dunedin has fantastic wings, burgers, hot drinks, cold drinks, lots of fun people, and a great wait staff. Check it out, Eddie's, for your dining pleasure. We've got our place on Main Street in Dunedin, also known as 580. Has wonderful food, comfort foods, American foods, and fantastic foods all the way around. Check it out on Sunday nights for all-you-can-eat pasta. And my favorite on Thursday nights, all-you-can-eat crab legs. Anybody want to add, Joe?
Sundays also for unlimited pasta.
Yes. We're listening. That's all right.
It's a good stuff. It's really good stuff.
Yes, it is. It's definitely a lot of fun.
It's just so great to, have all these establishments still, even now, 4 or 5 years, now our 5-year anniversary,
Yeah.
and they're still with us. And,
Oh, yeah.
I don't mention these guys too often, but if you love barbecue, we have Ozona Pig right there in Ozona, and they have amazing barbecue. If you ever love barbecue, they are just amazing barbecue, and they also have been with me since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I have to mention them more too. I completely forgot them.
Oh, definitely. So just so you guys know, if you have been making comments on Facebook tonight, and I'm sure a few of you have, they're not coming through yet. We're still working on that part. There usually is where we can get and give comments through this program, but it's a little glitch, and we'll figure out how to make it work another day soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I am sure that our favorite people are on, and we're very happy to have them for sure.
Interesting here. I'm going to bring this up because I found it to be comical. TJ Oshie.
Oh, God. Don't talk about Oshie. Hey,
TJ Oshie decided that he was going to mess with Yanni Gord. They dropped the gloves late in the second period, and it looked like Oshie started it by punching him in the back of the head. TJ, really? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
That's what happens. Oh, by the way, Bob, I did catch this one on my thing. It was a good evening, gents. Hey, Bob, how are you doing? Always a pleasure.
I think TJ Oshie, aside from being a dirty fighter, learned the hard way that you don't mess with Yanni Gord.
That's right. Hey, by the way, we've had a lot of people on. I went through the Facebook on the phone. So Dan Fesco, no, we cannot talk about the Yankees Rays today.
No.
And Ron Pisco says Fantasyland, and I get that. All that kind of fun stuff. And Rick Stavater, like him.
Yeah.
Joe, what a great last name. Joe, you finally found you a call, and good for you. The good old CB days paid off.
They did.
That's
Who would
right.
have thought I would have been a broadcaster? But we're talking on the CB really.
Hey, there you go.
Started it all.
There you go. And
Thank you,
Valerie
Rick.
says, hope
Hi,
both
Val.
guys are not long term. Hey, Val. We love Val.
Well, it's gonna be.
Yes.
John Ruda had his knee wrapped.
Jan Ruda.
He had his knee wrapped up.
Yes, he did.
He's going to be a little
Unfortunate.
while.
I
It's going to
know,
be a
it's
little while
sad.
with him.
It's sad.
Hedman, an ankle injury,
All right, hold on a
two to
second.
4 weeks,
I'll
maybe.
see if I can do this. You gotta give me a heads up on these because I'm going to show you something really cool. So let's see what Hedman has to say. Oh, there's Hedman right there. And so, what were you saying about Hedman? There he is.
It's an ankle injury.
Oh, big picture of him. Just so you know, when you see the screen, you'll see a big picture of Hedman.
Okay, ankle injury for him.
Right. Yes.
2 to 4 weeks, maybe.
Oh God. In 4 weeks, we're done.
So you're not thinking that we're going to get by either one of these teams, Toronto or
not without
Columbus?
Hedman.
Not without Hedman?
It's going to be tough.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. This is rough.
You're saying one and done again?
I'm not saying one and done.
You're saying they're going to lose the series. It's the first series.
Well,
so basically,
look who else they're missing. Who else are they missing?
Just the 3 guys.
Just the 3 guys. Let
Ruda
me see.
and Hedman, both defensemen.
Yes, and then the captain, Stamkos.
Well, we played without Stamkos for the longest time.
We did good. We didn't do good last night. My concern is this guy right here is going to be out for longer than we want, and that's unfortunate. But
it's not even a question of how long we want. Just statistically, on an ankle injury, it's at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that
true.
Don't heal.
It's
that
true.
don't heal right away.
Yeah, but he's Swedish. I thought he can do anything.
And then Ruda with the knee, that's really dangerous.
Yeah.
With the knee. And of course, we all know Stamkos' injury. It's just re-injured from the core.
Yeah, and Valerie hopes that Stammer's back for the playoffs. We do too. Valerie, you don't know how much we hope that's going on. I can't handle another one of these one and done.
It's a huge loss for Victor. Victor not having Victor Hedman is a huge blow. He's the best defenseman in the NHL. And take me on if you think that somebody's better than Victor Hedman.
No.
You're smoking some.
You mean
some
Kevin Shattenkirk?
stuff.
Maybe not yet, but he's on his way.
Oh boy. I love the player Blake Coleman. I brought his name up earlier. He's so feisty, and I think they need to bring him. I mean, there's guys that on this team that maybe we can consider going in a trade, or however we do it. But he's not one of them. I'd love to have Blake Coleman here for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I know. That'd be nice. And Mitchell Stevens.
Oh well, he's one of my favorites.
And Bogosian.
I am very partial towards him. And yeah, Bogo is really
Bogosian, as some people. I mean, I have heard in the past week, I have heard 3 separate announcers say his name 3 different ways.
Okay.
Bogosian. Bogo, because they gave up
nickname,
and Bogosian, which Bogosian's the way it actually is. Just
I just call him Bogo though. Sure.
I know it makes it a lot easier. Just like to call Tyler, right? Because Johnson is such a hard
or Steffens or Stevens
or Steffens or Jan or John.
Congratulations to Mitchell. I'm a big fan of his first career NHL playoff goal. Started with the forecheck, got inside position from front of the net, got in the lineup when Stamkos is out, and he's taking advantage of the opportunity.
There you go, Mitchell. This for you. I'm going to give one further on him. Yes, great. He got his first goal. Yay. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
But his face-off percentage is like
excellent,
80-something%.
Which I couldn't believe. What game was that? They were losing every faceoff. Was it Washington?
Yeah, Washington.
They were losing every faceoff, and then Mitchell, they put Mitchell in, and he won it. He won the faceoff.
Every single is crazy.
Cooper, hello.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoyed watching Braden Point take the faceoffs.
Yeah.
However, Mitchell Stevens he's doing a lot better than I thought he would be.
Yeah, if you're a betting man, you're betting on Steffens to win that face-off. He's really that good. He really is. So. He really is. And wow. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting week coming up, folks. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to cover all of it as I always do, but I'm going to be really interested to see how that what the Bolts do in camp tomorrow in practice. Because they have a real problem with Hedman out of the lineup.
Oh, I know.
That is a real problem. I get it. It's a concern. I don't want one and done. I believe
Nobody does.
I believe that we can handle Toronto. I'm just a little bit concerned about Columbus.
Yeah, me too.
Because you know what? They got a coach there that never forgets.
No.
And he's a great coach. Tortorella. He's like me, okay? He doesn't hold back. He said to his team, "You sucked."
Yes, he did.
I love it.
I was fantastic. But
Why
that's
hold
hockey.
back?
But that's hockey.
Not everybody's like that.
We don't deal with feelings in hockey.
You think Cooper would say that?
You know what? Behind closed doors, I think so. Yes, I think so.
Behind closed doors?
He's one of those guys that's all quiet,
He is.
reserved,
But he's a liar.
doesn't show a lot of, issues in his facial expressions or body movements. But I bet he gets behind closed doors in that room
Maybe.
and he explodes.
Maybe.
Hey, he had the balls to bench Cooch last year.
That's right. He would do that. He
So-
would do that again.
And I'd be afraid to bench Cooch because Cooch scares me. He's a big boy.
Mm.
He'll hit me with a bottle of vodka. It's all over then.
Yeah, I mean, John is a great person, and,
Yes.
I really love him as coach. But if we get eliminated in the first round again,
Exactly.
there's going to be
Oh, there'll be hell to pay.
problems.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to hold a job after that. That's the sad part.
One and done is not acceptable,
Nope.
and you can't
Not 2
say
years in a row.
if it happens again. You can't say, "Well, we lost Victor Hedman, we lost Steven Stamkos,
No.
we lost Ruda."
We've been known as a team of depth for so long,
Yeah, and
we've
haven't
talked
been able to
about
get
this
over it.
for so long that hey, even without some of your key players, you're still able to really do well because you still got Cirelli, Sergachev, all these
Mhm.
different point.
Question is, are
Shattenkirk.
we going to have both of them on the team next year?
Oh no,
That's another issue.
I know that's another concerning. Hey, by the way, Tom, I love you. I am not going to repeat what you just said on
Mhm.
Facebook because I got to sit next to this guy for the next 14 minutes. So, yeah, we'll talk about that after there, mister. Jeez.
You better be glad that I don't see what you're posting because I've been known to boot people off.
You will not get booted because I love watching you on here. So, but
You will get booted.
I'm just going to wait to tell him what you said about that.
The boss will boot you.
No, I'll protect you. I've got a veto vote. I'll take care of that. But I'll tell you,
It ain't gonna work.
we've got some major problems ahead of us.
Yeah.
Win or lose, we got some major problems ahead of us. We're
Mhm.
down 3. We just lost. Our spirits are low. Coming in, just not the same team we saw the last 2 games. And those last 2 games were only
They beat
one.
Washington though.
Yeah, but they were squeaker games.
Yeah.
Both of them were squeakers.
Yeah. 3-2.
And then we lose to a really good team.
3-2 is not
It's
convincing enough.
Not really convincing, especially when it's the third is at the very end of the game.
Well, give these teams credit. They're not slouches. I mean, Washington was number 1 at that time.
Yeah, by all means, they're
and
not
Boston
slouches.
was right under us.
But we have definitely not shown what the Lightning show
No.
this year. Now, here's the other problem. We've talked about this and we've beaten around the bush. But guys, there are some people on the block. They are going to be gone at the end of this season.
Mhm.
And that rumors are already flying around. Innuendos are flying around. These guys are talking because, of course, this is their career. This is where they're going to live. This is where they're going to play. Like it or not, they may hate the team that picks them up. But it's got to weigh hard on your mind during the playoffs that I might be gone. Tyler Johnson, Sergachev,
Yeah.
Cirelli, all these different guys that are pretty much on the block. Even my buddy Shattenkirk, because he is only on a 1-year contract.
Mhm.
And even though he's producing very well, and I'm sure that they're very happy with him, anything can happen. Anybody can go if you're not on a no trade clause. So it's got to weigh heavy on your mind while you're playing for the Lightning. Is this my last game with the Lightning each time? It's
Mhm.
tough.
Mhm.
It's tough.
And of course, now you're in a situation where we just got weaker with losing Hedman. So
Yeah.
we have to step it up. The defense has to step it up. And the whole team has got to step it up. And I feel like we can compete with Toronto. as I've said before, we can compete with them. It's just I worried about what I saw last year. That a tremendous scar.
It was rough.
I don't want to face Columbus.
No,
Tortorella has got that. It's almost like it's a curse.
Yeah,
and you know that's what got me concerned. But we have to step it up, and we're used to having players. And I know Cooper has said this. Hey, last year, same thing. We had some guys go down, and we still look where we finished.
Yeah,
we went down in the first round. We don't want to do one and done again.
No, please don't. Please.
That's just gonna be.
Do not be a one and done. I can't handle this.
Yeah, this would be terrible.
By the way,
and it shortens our broadcasting season if they get eliminated first round.
Oh no, we're still going to broadcast.
No,
yeah, I will. Because the good part about the Tampa Bay Thunderstrikers is that we discuss all things Tampa Bay, and we talk about hockey around the horn.
Hockey,
right? But there's still going to be hockey for the rest of the season. We can talk about what's happened. We can talk about what they're doing and how we're going to beat them next year. If it gets to that, hopefully we're just going to be on talking about the Lightning the whole time.
Generally, I shut the show down when we get eliminated.
Yeah, but this is new. We're gonna hang out. We got all this cool new equipment and all these cool new toys. We cannot let them go to waste, Joe. You're gonna love it. Trust me, you'll have fun. I'll twist your arm. You'll be right there.
No.
By the way,
not gonna happen.
Since there's 10 minutes left,
he doesn't know me very well.
Yes, I know you more than you think. So
I am more stubborn than anybody you'll ever meet.
You're like a moose. You're stubborn like a moose. Or is that a mule?
Good luck getting me on this show, because when I created this show, I always said it is a Lightning show.
It is.
And with them gone.
In Tampa Bay.
No. With them gone.
We can talk about trades. We can talk about movement. We can talk about the end of COVID. We could talk about Emily Arena.
The end of COVID's not going to happen anytime soon.
You never know. But
it's going, unfortunately.
But I'm going to swing out to a different direction for just a second.
Good.
Folks, as you can see a little bit to your right, they're still doing a little bit of construction on the Safety Harbor Studios. But one of the guys that came into demo turned me on to a show called Letterkenny. It's on Hulu. And if you haven't seen Letterkenny, take it from me. Yep. Some of you will love it. Some of you will hate it, but there's a lot of hockey in there because it's all from Canada. And one of the three main themes is hockey. So if you love hockey, you want to check out something cool, check that out and see what you think.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I got Hulu.
I know it's fun.
But I'm reading my notes here, and this is the most disturbing about the two games with Washington and Boston. Not only the fact that they just barely won 3-2, but it was the way they blew 2-goal leads in both games.
I know.
That was the real killer.
I know.
I just saw that, and I'm glad I saw that, because that really clarifies what Jeff is saying, is the fact that the performance of the team could have been a lot better, and blowing two. You can't do that in the playoffs. You can't blow two goal leads.
Well,
or any kind of lead.
Unfortunately, because all this stuff is on NBC and they hate us.
Oh, that's the Biased Network.
Yes.
Mike Milbury.
God. However, all they talk about is last year, and all they talk about is how we are such a great season team.
Oh, they hate us.
And such a horrible playoff team. And I hate to say it, but my goodness, we are not showing what we've shown all year long with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Even Point, who had a fantastic come out showing. We haven't seen much of Braden during the COVID thing. We've seen a lot of Alex Killorn, Vasilevsky, even Stamkos, different people here and there. Didn't see Point. Point kind of kept to himself, kept away, came out onto the ice and was just on fire. The exhibition game and the two round robin games.
Mm-hmm.
And then came last night. And you can't say it was because Steven Stamkos was gone, because he was gone the last two prior to that.
Exactly.
And you can't say it was Victor Hedman gone, because he didn't get gone till about the second period.
Second period.
So what has happened from one game to now, it's almost unnatural.
That first period was a nightmare.
Having a team fall apart is one thing. Having a team fall apart and all your players fall apart at the same time, there's something wrong with that.
Okay, we agree on that. But I'll tell you something. All these fans that root for these other teams and they talk crap about the Lightning are the number 2 seed, number one.
Yes.
Number 2, they're still playing. Where's your team? What are they doing? They're playing golf.
Yes, true, but just we don't want to be picking up golf bags yet. So a question was,
exactly.
What does it mean when they say unfit to play? That could be any number of things. It could be everything from an injury that the doctors are the end all. This, Steven Stamkos can say, I feel fantastic. I'm ready to skate. Life is good. The doctor can shut it down. That's where they say unfit to play.
Yeah, they weren't going to be detailed like I do and say it was his knee injury, his left knee. They weren't going to be graphic or telling people the real reason why they're not back.
Right. And not only is it an injury, it could be a drug use issue. It could be a suspension issue. When they get suspended for major things on the ice, that becomes unfit to play due to suspension. Could be COVID. Thank goodness. There have been zero COVID issues throughout the NHL and the NBA.
Several Bowl players had COVID. A lot of people don't know who they are, but we had several.
Yeah.
Most recently, too.
Yeah. But it's always nice that the NBA and, as much as I hate the NBA and the NHL did it right. They locked their players down and did the right thing. Baseball did not. And you kind of see what happened to them so far. That's been just a disaster.
Still having
all
that
the way around.
How are you going to make up 12 games? The Cardinals need to make up like 12 games or something like that.
Out of only 60.
It's a short season. How are you going to make up all those games?
I don't
play double headers every day.
I think it's going to be one of those. The players' union will finally step up and say enough is enough. Either shut the season down or we're walking, which it could easily be done because they just do not have the health things in place that other major sports do.
What the hell's wrong with them?
Well, we'll find out.
No, the NHL did it right, man.
The NHL so far, knock on wood or anything you can, has definitely done it right. And we got to thank them for.
And the players are loving all the accommodations and everything that Toronto has to offer, too.
Yep.
They're having a ball.
Of course.
That's great.
They treat them good.
Now, the problem is, let's go Boats.
It's Canada. They love their hockey.
Oh,
I know. All right. So we're getting about to the end of the show here.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. It's been a great one.
And it really was great having Shooter on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been a big fan of them since I started seeing their posts, and I posted on all my links. And people wonder why I post it. Well, that's because I feel like it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they do a great job. I love watching their stuff. It's a lot of fun to check out. And always remember, you can check us out at thunderstrikers.org, our webpage, facebook.com, Thunderstrikers. And you can always get us on CastBox, YouTube, and now Twitch.
Ooh.
I'm not really sure what Twitch was. I kind of had to learn about it, but it's a big gaming platform. So if anybody is a Lightning/gamer that wants to check us out there, we are going to be broadcasting there on Sundays also as we go. It's a lot of fun.
There you go.
Yes.
And I posted something on the Thunderstriker page and my page. We have vacations coming up.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So even staff has vacations.
Yes.
And Jeff's vacation is what, next week?
Next week and the week after.
And the week after.
Yes.
So he has some vacation time coming.
Yes.
So in the meantime, me and Dylan will be broadcasting on the 16th.
Yes.
And then after that, you'll be back for
I'll
that
be back.
other
Yes.
show. Okay, so it's just the one show with Dylan. And then in October, I will be away for a week in my normal Carolina trip, although I will not be going to the barbecue fest. I will not be visiting the Clorox facility like I intended on doing it.
That's
because
unfortunate.
we have lockdown on our Clorox facilities.
Yep.
So that means I will not be doing what I had planned to do. I will just be going up to the mountains and just checking out Asheville. You know, beautiful
Hey,
parts
there's
of
a lot
Carolina.
to see up there. Biltmore Castle.
Biltmore, been there.
So many wonderful wineries up there.
They have
There's
a
lot of good
beautiful
stuff.
place.
The only problem is it's cold. Nobody
Oh,
likes
I
the
love
cold.
that. I love that.
I
It's
don't
not
like
going to
the
be cold.
Ugh,
It's not going to be cold in November, October.
Yeah. Well, we have come to the final witching hour, 8 p.m. on a Sunday night, which means, sadly, that the Thunderstrikers are done for the day, and we'll see you next week. Joe, what you got to take us out with?
Well, just, hey, Bolts fans, just have faith. I know Victor Hedman's down, but I will be, as always, keeping you updated on his condition, as well as Rhoda and as well as Stamkos. But I wouldn't expect any of those three in the first series. So realistically speaking, so we're up against the wall right now, and let's see what our guys can do. Are they going to come through for us?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to lay down and, you know, let Toronto or worse yet, Torts.
Yes, exactly.
And his vendetta against us.
Exactly.
Is he gonna come out like Mr. Clean again? Or are we gonna fight and be the Tampa Bay Lightning, damn it, like 2004? That's what we need.
Exactly. All right, my final thoughts are this. The Tampa Bay Thunderstrikers is on every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. According to Joe, as long as the Tampa Bay Thunderstrikers are playing. But if the Lightning's not playing, we'll still be on, or one of us somehow.
He'll be on. He'll be on.
Like to thank Shooter and the Stash for coming on today. Shooter, check him out at Shooter and the Stash on Facebook. All the fantastic animations, Tampa Bay wide sports, but especially hockey with our Lightning. We will be back again next Sunday, and be sure to check out the Lightning on Wednesday.
You're going to be back next Sunday?
I won't, but you will. The show will.
Yeah,
I'll be in
true.
Key West.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's go, Bolts.
Go Bolts.
Have faith.